Alright guys, we're back and we're going to do some seeding with the Jang today. It'll be the first time I'm using the Jang. I'm pretty excited about having this tool in our toolbox going forward this year. We're going to put some carrots in. I've got some Romance Nanty style carrots from Johnny Seeds. These are pelleted. You always want to try to use pelleted seeds the best you can, especially in lettuce and carrot seeds, because if you guys have ever used raw seeds, they are super tiny, and my eyes have a lot of trouble focusing on something tiny like that to plant. So we're going to set this Jang up. Johnny's recommends on this size pelleted seed. Johnny's is really good about this since the Jang does. Johnny is a retailer of the Jang. They tend to put what roller size works best for what seeds. It says here the seed size is 13.0. The best roller to use for a 13 is a LJ12, and yes, I've seen other market farmers use like X24s or XY24s. It says use an LJ12. What this means is it's got 12 holes and the seed sits inside. If you can see that, sits inside that roller right there as it spins around and drops out. So it says it gives it a spacing of in the stock form of 2 to 5 inches. And that's kind of a broad array for me. I want to put these carrots about 2.5 inches apart. So what we are going to do is, on the side of the Jang, the roller goes into the hopper here, and the side of the Jang has this chain here, as you can see, and it also has gears that you can swap out. You saw that on our last video, and it also gives you a scale right here. So you look over here, and you see the number of holes. We have a 12 hole on the roller. And I want to put that at 2.5 inches apart. So if you slide your hand all the way across, you can see at the 2.5 mark, you need to put, and then you go up to the white here, your rear roller has to be a 10, and your front roller has to be a 13 or a 14. So going at if we left it, right now it's got an 11 and 11. So if we left it at an 11 and 11, which you can, it will put the carrots at 3 inches apart. And that's not that far apart. It's not close together, but it's not far apart. I want to kind of sneak those things a little closer. So we're going to go for a 2.5. So we're going to do like a 10 or 13 or a 10 or 14. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off right here, and all you got to do is just pull the gearing right out of this, and the chain comes right off of here. So I go up to my rack here, and I find it's an 8. That's a 10. That goes in the 10 goes in the rear. And it looks like 13 goes in the front. So this is a 13 right here. And then we will set, if I can get this, we'll set that one up. So they are both in there now. And then we will put the spring in there, just enough. As you can see now, when you spin that wheel, you see how it spins that perfectly fluidly, and it spins the hopper there. So we know that we're set up correct. So go ahead and put the cover back on. And now we can do the hopper. And on this Jang, it's got a tang right here. You pull the tang and the whole hopper comes out. The easiest way to do that is there's a little nub right here. And that way it folds down. You can get to this key easy. This only goes in the one way, so make sure you put that in the correct way, because that's the gear that attaches to that there. There we go, just like that. Put your key back in. Make sure it spins, which it does. And the brush, you have a brush right here. You can open that brush and close that brush according to the website, so you can work that brush up and down. If you put it too far up, you notice the space in there. The seeds you could have doubles or triples. So you just want to drop that down to where it's barely touching, just like that, and just tighten that up by hand. You don't have to crank it. And then when you turn that, you notice that brush is barely on the surface or just above that surface, so it'll wipe away any excess. Put that back on, and then your seeds are going to turn. As they turn, they're going to fall out the bottom here. So we want to lightly, gently put that back on there, snap that back in, and then what we'll do is we'll turn this wheel again. And then you can see that turn. You can hear it also. Okay, so we know that we are set up. So we're going to go ahead and put our seeds in. If I can get this cover off. Like I said, I haven't used this before, so this is the first time, so you have to forgive me fumbling around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our carrot seeds in. Just like that, and then we're going to take the Jang out to the field. Just like that, we got 7 rows of carrots put in here. Now let's get these guys watered in. All right, guys. This compost that we put on here, when we went through, we put about an extra 3/4 of an inch to an inch of compost on here. You guys saw that in the last video. It's going to suck up a lot of water because it was pretty dry. It's been pretty dry in here for about a week, and with these 80-degree temperatures, I've had the door open now for an hour, and we're at 84 degrees right now. Hence, I don't have the sides open right now, but it is 84 degrees in here. So you want to make sure you vent your high tunnels, even in winter. We've got 2 or 3 inches of snow on the ground. You know, and we had negative temperatures the other night, and we're only in the mid-20s today, creeping up on 30, but we're still in the mid-20s. And it's 80, like I said, 84 degrees, 85 degrees in here. So your high tunnels do get warm. So you want to make sure you vent them to get all this hot air out so you don't get condensation in here. I know it's really not a super big deal right now because this lettuce right here is going to get harvested out, and we just got seeds in the ground. But still, you want to try to minimize the amount of fungus or mold or anything else like that that you're going to have in your tunnels, because the last thing you want to do is fight that all season long. I'm going to go through and water this one more time, and then wonder why I turn these things white side up. When you turn these silage tarps white side up, they don't get as hot because it reflects the sun back, but what it does is it keeps the moisture in the bed. And when you germinate seeds, radishes, carrots especially, are terrible with it. I do it with radishes also. You want to keep that seed bed wet. That's the most important part with carrots. I think a lot of times when people have germination issues with carrots, for one, they're way overpopulated. When you sow them by hand, you tend to put a lot more carrot seed down than you need to. And 2, they just don't keep the bed wet enough. This carrot bed needs to be wet. Now, when I mean wet, I don't mean sopping wet like a wash towel wet, wringing it out. I mean it needs to be damp to luke wet, if that makes any sense at all. You want to keep that very moist under there. For one, it traps the heat in there, and it gets these seeds to germinate. Once you notice that the carrot seeds start to pop out of the ground, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch maybe, and you notice you have pretty decent germination over the whole bed, you pull these tarps off of there, and then you let them get to the sunlight. Now, if it does get cold, I'm going to put some lightweight Agribond or some frost blankets on it overnight, but I think the carrots will be fine. This is where I'm going to end the video this week. If you guys like the content, make sure you give me a thumbs up. That lets me know I'm doing a good job, and I'm putting out the content you guys want to see. If you guys are subscribers, you're awesome. Thank you so very much for subscribing to our channel and following our journey. For the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining our journey. And for the people that haven't subscribed yet, why not? You don't have nothing else going on in 2022. But anyway, guys, I'll talk to you later. Be kind, be nice to another. God bless, and I'll see you later.